Aloha, beautiful souls. This is Ryan of tranSOULution, and welcome to my channel, Transform with Ryan, where I am bringing you that light whenever there are shadows. Now, in this pick a card tarot reading, we are going to find out what did you both learn from this connection, all right? And so we'll look at some cards that share what you learned or what you were meant to learn from this connection, as well as what this person learned, perhaps even what you taught them in this connection as well, all right? So this message is really intended to bring some healing, some resolution into this energetic connection. Likely what I'm feeling from spirit is this was like a soul contract, a soul bond that we're channeling in, all right? So kind of tune into this, reflect back on this person, concentrate on their energies, and see which one of these piles calls to you. So we have this magnetic bookmark that's kind of a kitty-based sushi, okay? And then we have the one in the center is like a teddy bear-based sushi. And last but not least, I'm thinking this is some kind of bird because it has like a little beak there. So this bird sushi. So go ahead and see which pile is calling out to you to reveal what did you both learn from this connection. And you can see down below the timestamps and the links to get to your reading, and I'll see you there. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. My little finger waves there. And today we are looking at what did you both learn from this connection. Okay, so we're going to kind of divide our screen here, our reading table, to your lessons and blessings here and their lessons and blessings, like kind of what you both took out of this and how you're both better for what happened. All right, so for those of you that were drawn to this cute little sushi kitty, here is your reading. So this is their energy, this is yours. So we have for you stuck, block, third party, silence, barrier, shift your focus to clear the energy, and creativity, inspiration, productivity, creation, bring out the greatness within. So definitely on your end, I'm getting that this person really challenged you when it comes to being patient, when it comes to learning how to maybe even manage your emotions and learn how to communicate with other people that maybe frustrate you or get on your nerves in some ways. And you've really had to get creative in, learning how to communicate, learning what actions to take so that you still get what you want, but there's little collateral damage along with it, okay? So learning how to be a bit persuasive, learning how to really listen to what the other person needs and sort of compromise a bit, okay? Get creative with compromising and creating space for other people without totally ignoring your values and your needs, all right? And at times you were probably feeling a bit stuck, like you didn't know what to do. And because you were at this loss of like a quick instinctual solution, or maybe even that the typical things that you would do, they didn't receive it right, all right? And sometimes it caused even more conflict, more arguing or confusion and misunderstanding, right? So you really had to branch out. You really had to adapt and be flexible when it came to this connection and interacting with this person. So what about them? What did they learn from this connection? Twin flames, eternal love, reincarnation, passion, twin seeking union, and travel, movement, meeting, adventure, be ready for new experiences. So what I'm getting for this person is that this person really they had to step out of their comfort zone, okay? And they really had to, what I'm getting is like maybe they were too cautious. They were maybe too guarded even, okay? And they were a bit stubborn and stuck in their ways, okay? And that could have been even the source of some of your conflict, is like this person's very stubborn, very rigid. You're a little bit more outgoing, and you try to bring out that free spirit and that adventurous nature in them, and they were like not having it. All right, and they were kind of happy staying in their own little safe world, their own little cocoon, doing things the same way all the time and not really shaking or rocking the boat. And they had to learn how to be a little bit more adventurous and be open to new experiences. All right, and on their end with this twin flame energy, they really had to step into their passion because their life at this point in time was honestly like a bit dull, actually. Okay, it was a bit dull, a bit boring, and in a way, that's what they liked, right? They just like this, okay, I have a routine, I have a schedule, I do this way, I do that way. It's like everything is just so organized, so predictable, and they weren't growing. Okay, they weren't evolving, and that's the beauty of twin flame connections, is that they really help you grow and evolve in monumental ways, in like exponential ways, in such a short period of time. And so they were really pushed out of their comfort zone and had to learn how to exist outside of that. All right, so it's kind of like you, this person had to learn how to live a little, okay, to kind of sum it up. So let's take a look at the deeper, conflicts and struggles that both of you were experiencing in this connection, and then we'll kind of look into the healing, all right, and the growth and evolution that came of it. So for you, we have cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. Fly, a period of ill health, depression. And sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. All right, so definitely for you, some of the struggles and conflicts here were you didn't really feel supported, okay? You felt almost as if you were like being too much because this person was so rigid and not willing to kind of bend a little and be flexible, and you had to do all the flexibility, all the creative thinking here. It was sort of like you didn't feel like your needs were being honored or met, and that you weren't necessarily allowed to feel safe and be you in this relationship, because it was almost like this person, it felt like they were just constantly a wet blanket, like dampening the mood here, even when you were so excited about something and you wanted to do something and act on something. This person didn't share that enthusiasm, and they were just kind of like advising you on the safe route, the boring route, and you were wanting change and adventure here, okay? And for you with this sunrise, yeah, part of the struggle was coming up with these creative ideas, but also there were times here, and this kind of flows with the depression card, where you just couldn't see the light at the tunnel. It was like you were stuck in this darkness of like, I don't know what to do. Am I doing something wrong? Like, why is this person constantly poo-pooing me? Why am I even here, right? Like, it was, you were in that darkness before the dawn, and you were just having such a hard time like looking towards the dawn or looking towards that light and finding that light at the end of this tunnel or this dark period. And it was really challenging for you. And, there were a lot of times I felt where you were like, should I just give up? Like, should I just kind of, distance myself from this relationship? Should I just really move on, or just like whatever, this person is going to be how they are? There's no way they're ever going to change. I just got to accept it and limit my contact with them, right? So that could have been some of the thoughts that you had to work around. For this person, we have fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Club, someone will try to make you do something against your will. Okay, there we go. So this person really felt like you were trying to change them. You were trying to make them someone that they're not, and they really felt like you didn't understand them or you didn't respect them. And this is from their perspective. So it's not like you were inadvertently trying to change them per se because you thought less of them or you thought they needed improvement, but that's how they took it. They kind of took it as you were trying to make them do things that they weren't really interested in, or they didn't agree with, or they didn't care for, and you kept trying to convince them, and so you made them feel deep down that they weren't good enough, okay? And that they were not worthy in some way, they weren't enough, and how they did things wasn't sufficient. to your standards or whatever. Okay, so that's really where the conflict and the pain came for them, is that they just felt that you were trying to change them, even if that may not be true, and you were just trying to open them up a little and expand their experience and expand their emotions and everything. And they were really, you evoked in them, like what I get is this person, because they like routine, they like structure, they like stability, is that generally they're pretty calm. And some people might call them a little bit of a square, a little bit of a bland personality, right? But you really invoke these strong, strong emotions in them, which they're not used to experiencing. And so that was really hard for them to experience this intense passion, this intense love, this intense anger, whatever kind of came up. And lastly, younger woman, dealing a relationship with a younger woman. Okay, so this person, not for everybody, but this person definitely could have been a younger individual by age, or they could even just have a younger spirit. Okay, very playful, childlike, immature. Yeah, hold on, minus the playful and childlike. More the immature. Okay, more the immature. Spirit was like, no, no, not playful, not the right word. Children are very playful, but not in this context, is that's not what we're pulling through here. And so this person is just younger, immature on a spiritual, emotional level than you are, because again, you're more open to experiencing things, and this person is very much more into the routine. So they just didn't have quite that emotional maturity or life experience that you have in that regard. And the woman part is really just speaking more to the divine feminine within them. So yes, of course, this could have been a female person. For sure, you can interpret it that way. But for others of you, this is more just the divine feminine. So this is sort of that receptive, calm, restful kind of energy, right? Which matches up with their personality of not necessarily being a go-getter and an action taker and an adventurer. This is more like that chill, laid-back kind of energy that is associated with the divine feminine. All right, so let's take a look at really just the ways in which you both grew and evolved, and some of the healing that took place here as a result of your relationship, or rather, like, what is some of the healing that can occur here as a result of this connection, this relationship, some things that need to be healed within the both of you that you brought to light in each other. Okay, so we have Three of Wands, Father of Swords, and Three of Swords. All right, so with your side here, definitely part of this journey is growing the mind, okay? And what that really speaks to is just being able to understand and create space. What I'm saying is create space for people that have a different way of life from you, a different way of thinking, and having compassion and patience for them, and honoring and respecting their way of being. And maybe some of you, again, not all of you, but maybe some of you did try to change this person in some way. And really what you've had to learn how to do, and where the healing is that there are certain things that can be changed, and there are certain things that just need to be accepted as they are here in the now. All right, and so that's part of the healing and the lesson for you. It's not always your responsibility to bring out the best in people or help people achieve their potential. Sometimes all you have to do is just show it to them, and then let them make the choice to pursue it. All right, and here definitely with this Three of Swords, what I'm getting is you had to learn how to get a little bit out of your head, okay, and get out of sort of this energy of like, why aren't they doing this? Why are they resisting? And sometimes, people, when there's resistance, they take it as a cue to push even harder, okay, and be a bit stubborn in this method. And really with this, you had to let that go. That's where this creativity came in. You had to realize, like, okay, this thing that I'm doing isn't working. So what other ways can I approach this situation? Okay, that comes a little bit more with love. And with this Three of Wands, it's what I'm seeing here. So you had to sort of take a look beyond what was happening on the surface, what was happening in the moment. And you had to see the bigger picture here, the bigger vision, okay? And like, what was the ultimate goal here? What was what you were really trying to convey, or what you really wanted to happen here, and how you can best go about it, because the method you were using or the things that you were saying were just not being understood or received properly by this party. So you really learned a lot about yourself. You really learned a lot of ways that you can troubleshoot any challenges you come across. And, you really got to show up for yourself with your creativity, your creative thought process here. Now, how about this person? We have the Eight of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Okay. So whether you experience this or not, this person definitely started to see the world in a different way. You did expand their thought process. You did expand their minds, their consciousness, their awareness. You did expand it. Maybe not to the degree that you were hoping or wanting, okay? But you did make some sort of difference in their life to get them to at least start thinking differently, even if they may not yet be doing things differently, okay? And maybe they're still pretty rigid, still pretty, organized, a bit square, a bit dull, kind of like they like having a quiet and safe sort of life. Maybe they're still in that space, but now they're a little bit more open, and they do kind of let their hair down, if you will, in their own way, okay? And they did learn from you that perhaps they have to relax a little bit, because here with the Ten of Wands, they definitely realize that they carry a lot of worries, they carry a lot of burden with them, and some of it they definitely don't need to be bearing that weight or carrying that load. And so they started to at least relax a little bit and maybe not get as freaked out or upset when things don't go according to plan, for example. Okay, like I get the sense that this person is quite the planner, all right? And here with this Eight of Wands, to give you credit here, they did grow and evolve quite a bit with your presence in their life, and they definitely wouldn't have ever changed or learned something new about themselves and about other people and about the world if it weren't for you. Like, they would have been stuck. But with the Eight of Wands here, they definitely have movement, they definitely have growth, okay? And they had a lot of aha moments and a lot of really important realizations. Now, what I'm getting is this person, again, maybe they're a little bit more quiet, a little bit more reserved, so they might not have said this out loud to you, but this is definitely how they're feeling and what they've been thinking about, whether or not they've communicated this. All right? So, wow, this really, I hope, kind of sets your mind at ease and gives you a little bit of an emotional release when it comes to examining what sounds like a bit of a challenging interaction and a challenging connection here. And hopefully you can release any of those heavy energies now and just really step more into those higher vibrational frequencies and that gratitude that you were both a part of each other's lives. So let me know what you thought of this reading. Comment down below. And of course, I invite you to like and share this reading and also subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any more high vibe readings that get posted. And of course, make sure you turn on the notification bell as well so you're alerted when a new video is posted. Now, for those of you that could do with a little bit more energy work, a little bit more healing work, I do have some sessions. There's a link in the description box down below if you go take a look for an energy alignment session. And we can discuss any, residual thoughts or feelings or attachments that you have regarding this connection or other things, and how we can facilitate releasing it so you can really step into your highest timeline and the highest version of yourself and be at that higher frequency. So if that speaks to you, I definitely look forward to connecting with you in your energy alignment session. But until next time, my loves, sending you so much love and cosmic hugs. Take care, and thanks for hanging with me today. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we're taking a look at what did you both learn from this connection, this relationship. Okay, so what I was calling through with this reading, with the help of spirit, is really like maybe a connection that you have presently or from your past that was really challenging, okay? That really sort of pushed all the wrong buttons with you at times, and maybe there's some residual energy connecting you and this person that needs to be healed, that needs to be released, okay? So let's take a look at that for those of you that were drawn to this cute little bear sushi. All right, so we're going to split this. So this is like your side and this is their side on what did they learn from this connection. So let's take a look at you. We have spring. Your love is blooming. Your answers arrive in spring. An offer, gesture, engagement, wedding. Rejoice in your union. So you know what I'm getting from this combination here is this connection really had you focusing on receiving. Okay, and that perhaps you were the type of person that felt like you had to do everything on your own. You felt that you had to be independent and self sufficient because if you weren't, it was a sign of weakness. Okay, and it made you vulnerable and it increased your chances of getting hurt, betrayed, or let down or disappointed in the future. Okay, if you relied on other people. And really, this was about you learning how to open up, okay, and feel safe and feel vulnerable about other people and start learning how to work together with someone and share a space, share kind of your life experience. So like be open with each other about your feelings, okay, and your thoughts and your like what interests you and what things you don't like. So really just opening up and forming this connection that maybe you were afraid to do before because you might have been hurt in the past by someone that was close to you. Maybe you had some experience of abandonment. Maybe you were let down or betrayed by like a friend or a family member in the past. And when this person came along, they sort of triggered those pains and those hurts within you. And those could have been things that you were trying to put off, that you were trying to kind of block off, lock away in a little corner of your subconscious mind and not have to face it. And they brought that up in you to kind of confront that and face it and bring about change so that you can start to open up and really love and connect with other human beings again. So let's take a look at for them as well. We have unawakened, unaware, 3D, ego, darkness, your twin flame is not ready yet. And we have feminine, your divine feminine, you seeking her twin or soulmate. Okay, so this person, what I'm getting is that this person, they really had to learn about patience. Okay, so this person, they really felt very strongly about you. They wanted what's best for you. They wanted to protect you. They wanted to look out for you. They wanted to care for you. They wanted to love you. And you just weren't in that position just at that time to really receive it. Okay, again, you were in this energy of independence and they were in this energy of like union and coming together and sharing space, sharing things. And you just weren't quite ready yet for that. Taking that connection to a deeper level, all right, because it was very risky and a bit scary for you. And so they had to learn how to be patient. Okay, so the divine feminine energy has a lot of patience within it. They also had to be a little bit nurturing, okay, and understand how to do a little bit of hand holding with you during this process. Now, not to say that they were very skilled at doing that, right? They could have been channeling more of the divine masculine energy, and what they needed to cultivate and help strengthen is their divine feminine nature, okay? That patience, that nourishing, and hold you by the hand. Be willing to walk with you step by step, no matter how big the steps are. Okay, and they really had to recognize when people are not at the same stage of a relationship as they are. Okay, they need to understand that, hey, yeah, they have their feelings and that's great and all, but you have your feelings as well, and they can't force you to come up to their level. You have to do it on your own, and you have to go there naturally. Okay, so they definitely had to be a bit more patient with what they wanted and having their desires completely fulfilled and or matched with you. So they had to really learn that and respect it as well. So let's kind of take a look at maybe some of the internal pains that weren't voiced or that weren't expressed to again facilitate that healing, that understanding, and that compassion between the two of you. So we have for you stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. Grapes, time to go out and have fun. And sun, happiness and well-being. Okay, so definitely what I'm seeing here for you is there was this element of denial and avoidance within you. Okay, you definitely were like, oh, I don't want to really face these challenging times. I don't want to have to, confront my shadow. I just want to have fun. I just want to feel happy. I don't want to feel sad or miserable by revisiting some of these painful memories from my past. And that was kind of your struggle here of like stepping away for a moment from masking any pain and any hurt that you were feeling and diving deep here with that. And with this news of a birth or a new business opportunity, what I'm getting is that it was really easy for you to place your focus on other things. So like you were a willing participant in being distracted, right? So when it comes to family, that's I'm getting for birth, it's like family. So if like your parents needed something, your sibling needed something, your child needed something, like you were quick to just like, hey, I need to go take care of this right now. This is my priority. We'll figure out this later, whatever it was that you two would argue about or disagree on, and this person would want to confront it and talk about it and dive into it, and you were like, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to discuss that right now. I'm like, you might not have been able to say like it's bringing up old hurts, but you were feeling it and you were just very uncomfortable with kind of hashing it out then and there and getting into it. And to be honest, maybe you weren't comfortable hashing it out ever, right? Like there was never going to be a time where you would be ready to discuss it, even though you said maybe later, let's talk about this later, right? And also, if it wasn't family, friends, whatever distracting you or pulling you away, it was work, right? Like you were a busybody and you wanted to just focus on work because it was something easier and more comfortable for you to deal with rather than some of these relationship dynamics, okay? Now for this person, we have teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. That one's interesting. And bow, you are highly thought of. Okay, so what I'm getting here with this person is that what they were really struggling with here is that the people in their life, coworkers, friends, family members, they thought that they were doing the right thing. Okay, that they were supporting them, saying, hey, yeah, I don't know why this person here is like being all weird and funking about stuff. Like, we're on your side. We totally agree with you. Like, we think you're doing the right thing. Okay. And so they were in this space of like confusion, and they're like, well, everyone around me is saying I'm doing the right thing. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. So why is this person being so avoidant? Why is this person distancing themselves? Why is this person not opening up to me? And so they were really struggling with that. And in a way, it sort of made them feel like maybe they were crazy or maybe that they were stupid or dumb because they just weren't understanding what was happening here, okay? And they don't understand like what's going wrong here. What is the problem here? It's like everyone says like it should be fine, but why is it not fine? Okay, so there was this sort of like challenging what they thought should be happening versus what was actually happening. And this conflict between the two was at times making them feel like, oh my gosh, am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Maybe I've lived my whole life thinking and understanding the wrong thing about the world. So that was one of the challenges that they had to go through. And maybe on some level that frustrated them and upset them even more on top of whatever conflict you both were already having, okay? Um, Yeah, and not to say that you were wrong by any means, like I'm not placing any sort of blame on you. It's just that this person was surrounded by like minded people. And so they were just supporting and affirming their thought pattern and their viewpoint, okay? And in no way should you feel like you have to discuss things that you're not comfortable with discussing. And to be quite honest, sometimes this person that's bringing up the issue may not be the best person to help you work through it, okay? I mean, that's honestly why we have therapists, which I have mad respect for, and even coaches, right? Because sometimes, even with a family or a spouse, it's like they want to help us and they want us to do better, but they can't be the healer, okay? Their relationship purpose with you is to be the family member, to be the caring spouse, the caring parent, the caring sibling, right? Their role is not to do the healing. The role is to just be there to support you as you tackle this challenge on your own, all right? So let's take a look at sort of what is the good thing that came out of this? What is the lessons and the blessings that you received and they received? So we have 3 of Cups here, 4 of Swords, and the Tower. Oh, so definitely the blessing here is that this circumstance, even though you didn't want it to happen, even though you weren't calling it in, universe came in and intervened and said, hey, we know there's pain in here that you've held on for too long, and it's time for you to be aware of it. It's time for you to heal it so that you can rest, so that you can finally be at peace. And perhaps some of you did, go and seek that professional help, that coaching, that safe space to really dive into these shadow aspects of yourself that were within your subconscious and handle some of these very challenging issues and hurts from the past, okay? And what I'm seeing here is that definitely you were able to form some new and powerful connections here, whether that be with friends, co-workers, or some kind of support group. So because of this struggle that you went through, you did make some sort of connection that was really powerful and really healing for you, all right? And you probably know what that connection is. Now for this person, we have the 7 of Pentacles, Mother of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, so what I'm seeing for this person here is, how we were talking about how maybe they started to question like their way of viewing at the world, their way of thinking, to like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm in the wrong, maybe I'm the fool, maybe I'm the idiot, maybe I'm the clueless one. They really came to understand that their opinion and their experience is valid. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be confirmed or justified by anyone else, that it's okay to feel how they feel, all right? And that just because other people don't see it or other people don't receive it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong for feeling the way that they do, okay? So it's all about really owning their emotions and loving themselves and respecting how they feel about something, regardless of how other people take it or how other people receive it. So that was a big part of their lesson here. What I'm getting with this Mother of Pentacles is I'm also getting that they learned how to maybe worry a little bit less about things, maybe to be a little bit less forceful. So again, we were talking about the divine feminine, this very gentle energy. So that's what they were learning about, this blessing of like, hey, learn how to be gentle with others, and also more importantly, learn how to be gentle with yourself. Okay, and with this 7 of Pentacles, what I'm really getting is, a little bit away from the traditional meaning of this card, is the 7 is about divine harmony. okay, divine coexistence, and that everything is as it should be. And there's really no need to force something if there is a lot of resistance around it. And so that's a lesson that they had to learn, that they cannot force you to fix something or to address something if you're not ready to. And that's a lesson that they apply to other relationships in their life and other situations as well. It's like not to force anything, just simply allow, just simply rest, be at peace, and allow things to happen. All right. So that's what I'm getting with this energy here. Very, very beautiful lessons, beautiful healing for the both of you. So let me know what you thought of your reading, okay? Comment it down below. And of course, I invite you to like, share this video with people that will benefit, and also subscribe to this channel and turn the notification bell on so that you never miss out when a new reading is uploaded, okay? Now, for those of you maybe that you didn't find that connection that could help you through these difficult or challenging times, take a look in the description box down below. There you will find a link to book an energy alignment session with me. If you're open, if you're ready and willing to do the work, let's connect. Let's come together and pull together like an action plan, a roadmap that you're comfortable with to get you in this space of healing, get you more open to receiving and being vulnerable in your relationships and forge these deeper connections with others, but also yourself, all right? So book that energy alignment session with me. I'm here to help. I'm here to assist. And of course, thank you all so much for allowing me to do this reading for you and deliver these heartfelt healing messages. And until next time, Star Fam, sending you so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we're going to really focus on doing a little bit of healing, a little bit of energy work, a little bit of sort of expanding our consciousness and awareness to allow heavy energies to be released between you and another person. And we're going to find out, what did you both learn from this connection, okay? Whether it's a connection that's ongoing or a connection that has sort of parted ways, all right? So for those of you that were drawn to this cute little sushi bird, let's take a look at your reading. We're gonna put all your energies on this side of the screen and their energies here on this side, okay? So those are their cards, and here's for you. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. Very interesting card here. And we have crossroads, divergent paths, choices, confusion, follow your intuition. Okay, so what I'm getting here from this experience and this connection is that what you were meant to learn is to start trusting yourself. Start believing in the choices that you make, giving yourself a big fat yes, giving yourself that permission to explore and perhaps go against the grain of what other people expect of you, maybe even like take the road less traveled, okay? Be that adventurer, be that trailblazer, okay? So this was part of your journey, is that you needed to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and be okay with just having your conviction, your drive available to you, and not so much the support from everyone else around you. All right, that was what was meant to be gained from this connection here, is a little bit of self-empowerment, okay, on your end. Now, what was going on with them? So we have regret, remorse, life regrets, loss, start making empowered choices. And here we have union, reconciliation, eternal love, your time has come. So what I'm getting for this person is that what they had to learn how to do is sort of let go of trying to control things, and definitely trying to control others, okay? Now, what I'm getting from this person is that they, experienced their mistakes and their regrets in their life, and they were well-intentioned by trying to discourage others from making the same mistakes that they thought they made, and they were a bit forceful about it, a bit aggressive, right? They were really coming off as this like, don't do that, absolutely not, I forbid it, or that's not cool. Maybe even giving out some ultimatums like, if you do that, then don't ever speak to me again. Or maybe they even had that sort of attitude of like, hey, I told you so. Like, if you do that, Nothing good is going to come of it. It's only going to be bad stuff. You're going to regret it. Trust me. I don't want to have to say, I told you so. That was sort of the energy that they were in and that they needed to evolve and grow out of, okay? That they had to realize that whatever mistakes and regrets that they have, that they can't really project it on to other people. And again, everyone's going to kind of live their own life and make their own mistakes, and they can't protect other people from it, nor should they feel like they have to, because everyone has their own life journey and lessons to learn. And, other people's paths might end up differently than theirs, okay? And just because they experience maybe a setback on this path doesn't mean that when you go on a similar path, you're going to experience that same setback. They needed to understand that, okay? And with this union and this reconciliation, what I'm getting is they really had to reconcile their own experience as different from your experience, okay? That you're not both necessarily going to experience the same thing as you pursue similar goals, okay? And with this, your time has come. What I'm getting for this person is that really it's time for them to have released whatever failures or mistakes they made in the past, and the shame and the regret and resentment that kind of came with it. And in some cases, they might have even been experiencing a little bit of jealousy, okay? Because they saw you going on this path and perhaps you were doing a little bit better than they were at that stage, and they were a bit jealous of you, like, hey, wow, you're doing better than I was. But, still, don't do that, because regardless, the end is the same. It's gonna flop. It's gonna like get messed up, whatever. It's not gonna go well. And that's kind of the mindset that they were in. So interesting. Okay, so again, very well-intentioned energies here. It's just like the sort of the execution was maybe not the smoothest here, and they really needed to respect autonomy in you, okay? And you really needed to learn how to move forward without their approval or without their support. Okay, so let's kind of see maybe some more on the internal struggles, the things that were not said between you two or not communicated between you two, to give insight as to more like where were they coming from and why did they do or say the things that they did, okay? Let's take a look at you. So owl, good advice from a wise person. Okay, good. And then bat, take care, enemies are working against you. And here, fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Okay, so what I'm hearing for you all is that definitely your perception of things when people weren't supporting you is you were led to believe that they were like enemies, okay? That they were working against you versus just simply not supporting you, okay? So it's like, okay, if you're not with me, then you're against me. It was kind of that mentality. And even though they weren't flat out discouraging you or anything, they may have just been like, well, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna go, but it's your life, so do what you want. Maybe you just kind of took it as like, oh, fine, they don't believe in me. And that's not true. They were just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any opinions on this one way or the other. Like, I don't have any experience in that, so I can't tell you how this is going to work out. And I definitely can't give you advice because I don't know anything about that. So please, go for it. Do what you want. And maybe the attitude was sort of like lackadaisical and sort of like brushing it off. Even though this was so important to you, maybe you didn't feel like it was as important to people, or they weren't taking it as seriously. And really, maybe you just wanted their blessing. And in this case, the lesson was you needed to learn you don't need anybody's blessing to do what you want to do, okay? And with this good advice from a wise person, what I'm getting is this person, maybe they weren't super supportive, but they did have some good advice, okay? So maybe they were they just wanted you to avoid making the same mistakes that they made, but it came out as saying, like, I made these mistakes, you're gonna make them too, therefore you're gonna fail just like I failed, okay? And really, what you needed to learn how to receive is there's wisdom in their words, okay? And I'm sure you maybe were afraid to admit that to yourself on the inside, where it's like, hey, this person does have a point, all right? But I'm never going to say it to their face. I'm never going to be like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, you're not going to give them that satisfaction, okay? And then here, there was definitely with this shrewdness and resourcefulness, there was some doubt within you about whether or not you would be able to make it work, whether or not you would be successful with this, again, because so many other people weren't supporting you. So you started to doubt in yourself. And that was really hard for you. And that's hard for anybody not to have faith in themselves and feel like the whole world is against them and no one's trying to help them out. And so that's something that you maybe didn't feel comfortable with communicating to other people, that you just needed support, not necessarily agreement. So we have fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Interesting that that came out. That, like, this energy kind of came out in all three readings of an actual person. Clouds, temporary problems. And wishbone, a wish is granted. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for this person is that really along their path is they didn't have that same amount of determination that you do with your path. And they, they were sort of threatened or intimidated by the level of conviction that you originally had towards your goals before, everyone sort of clouded your self-esteem and made you question your judgment, right? So they see the passion and the drive and the desire in you, and they almost realized for themselves that they didn't share that same enthusiasm. They didn't have that passion, and that could be the very reason why they failed or didn't succeed, is because they didn't have the discipline or the dedication, and that maybe they gave up too quickly. So with the temporary problems here, it's like whenever they came up against an obstacle, they were quick to give up, okay? And they didn't realize that it was only temporary, that it was sort of this hurdle that they had to overcome in preparation for the success, in preparation for what was to come, okay? And that happens to a lot of people whenever they face some kind of challenge. They think like, oh my gosh, this means I'm not meant to do this and I should just give up. And, sometimes that isn't true. And sometimes the challenge is really a lesson for you to continue to grow on this path, okay? Like, for example, with me, with doing YouTube videos. I was making YouTube videos and some of them were not getting as much views as others, and it was very inconsistent in the beginning, and so I started to question, like, oh my God, should I be a YouTuber? Like, should I even pursue this? Maybe I should go back to medicine. Maybe I should just give up on this dream that I have of, really making a positive impact in a way that I feel empowered in. And I had to realize that those were just like little hurdles, and that from these situations, I actually just had to learn more about my message, more about my style of doing videos and what resonates with me versus what I think resonates with everyone else. Okay, so that was a learning process for me. And, if I had given up back then, I wouldn't be where I am today with my YouTube channel, which is it's like in a really great place actually for the time that I've been on YouTube. So that's kind of what they're going through, is this regret that maybe they gave up too soon and their wish wasn't granted, and that's why. With this fair woman, it could easily be that there was someone from their past, their experience, that sort of created this doubt in themselves. Okay, maybe they took some person's advice that has this kind of appearance and then it didn't work out, or they trusted this person and then they let them down or betrayed them or whatever. And that's part of the reason why that, they didn't continue moving forward. Okay, so it's maybe has nothing to do with you at all, and it's more to do with their experience in their past and the hardships that they went through involving other people. Okay. And also what I'm getting too from this fair woman, which is really interesting, is that there was someone in their past too, when they, shared their dreams and goals, there was someone in their life that, was the wet blanket and rained on their parade and be like, no, you can't do that. You're not able to. There are people that put them down too. And so that was like a learned behavior that they adopted and they kind of acted out with you. Okay. So it was some kind of social conditioning or programming. It's like, For example, just real quick, they wanted to be an artist, they wanted to be a painter, and when they pursued it, someone said, "Oh, you can't make money, you can't make a living as being an artist or a painter." And when they weren't having success selling their artwork and making a living or whatever to support themselves, they gave up and they started to believe that, yeah, that's true, you can't have success as an artist. And so now when you come up to them and like, "Hey, I want to be an artist, I have these big goals and dreams of getting my artwork out there, being in a gallery, having an NFT, whatever," then they're like, "Oh, don't do that because you're never going to be successful with that." And maybe they didn't explain their experience and they just passed on like this message to you, and they didn't really quite explain, like, "Yeah, I had the same dream you did and it didn't work out for me." And instead of explaining why it didn't work out for them so that you could learn from that mistake, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, they just kind of poo-pooed your dream. So let's kind of take a look at the healing here. Let's take a look at that higher vibration, what you can take out of this experience and what you can release, okay? So we have Son of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Okay, a lot of Swords energy for you. Oh my gosh, I was just saying a lot of Swords energy. So Ace of Swords here, okay? So what I'm getting for you here, what really you can gain and you can learn is really step into your power here and believe in yourself, okay? Have more positive thoughts and positive affirmations with your goals and your dreams. And with this Ace of Swords, I'm getting this image of like He-Man and Lionel from Thundercats and She-Ra. They would raise their sword up and say their power phrase, whatever it was, and then they become the super powerful being, okay? And that's really what you have to do. You have to raise your sword up, believe in yourself, say your affirmation, say your power statement, and charge forward like the Son of Swords. Move forward, go after it. And release all these fears and anxieties and like this thought process of like, "Oh my God, what's the worst that can happen? And it's probably going to come true." Sort of like this pessimism, okay? That's not yours. That pessimism belongs to other people. And so let the fear go. Just because other people couldn't achieve what you want to achieve, it doesn't mean in the slightest that you won't be able to achieve it, okay? It's a mindset, it's a belief, it's a thought pattern, it's really just having faith in yourself and that you were given this divine vision for your life, this divine dream and goal for a reason, because you're meant to experience it in some shape or form, okay? Now for them, we have the Five of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, so this is very, very clear. It kind of supports what we were talking about earlier. And so really, part of this is with the Five of Wands, what I'm seeing is that they just need to see that everybody's path is different, okay? This wands here, they're not organized. They're not all in a row. They're not straightened out, right? They're all going in different ways, and that's the beauty of life. It's diversity. Everybody is different. Everybody has a unique journey to go on, and some of the lessons that we want to pass on or give to others about our mistakes, it's not necessarily something that another person is going to experience, okay? And that very well they could have success where you've had failure, and there's no need to be resentful or angry about it, and there's no need to hold anybody back from, manifesting that success just because you had a rough go of it. So really just honoring everybody's unique journey and experience here on earth. And what I'm getting here, of course, the Eight of Swords is sort of freeing themselves from being trapped in this way of thinking, this limited way of thinking, like breaking free of these boundaries and these barriers that hold them in, that they have honestly erected themselves. And it could even be like maybe they failed in one area of their life and so they lost faith in themselves entirely, and now they don't think they can achieve much in their life and they feel really disappointed in themselves, right? And they need to break free of that. They need to really understand that change can happen, and their life can shift and change as well, and that they don't have to be restricted from any mistakes or things that happened in the past. And with the Devil, it's really freedom. is what they need to understand. That the devil, the energy of the devil, and that's not taking a religious connotation by any means, but the energy of the devil is really about how we limit ourselves or how we become trapped or slaves to ways of thinking that are not helpful for us, okay? That are actually more harmful. So it's about harmful thought patterns, harmful behaviors that we continue to cycle through. And the devil represents those cycles. And really, it's about needing to be released from these cycles, to end it and step into something new, something higher vibrational and energetically, okay? So that was the opportunity for them here, is to heal this past that they have, that you kind of reminded them of. So let me know what you thought of your reading. Comment down below. And of course, I invite you to like and share this video with anybody that may benefit from it. And of course, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and turn the notifications on so that you never miss out on a reading as soon as it's posted. And for those of you that are still kind of in the thick of things with this situation and you are looking for guidance and advice, take a look down at the description box below, because there's a link to book an energy alignment session with me. And what we'll do in that session is we'll get that roadmap set up for you. We'll get whatever divine guidance and advice that you need so that you can be in this aligned path, okay, for your highest and greatest good. So book that session with me. I look forward to connecting with you. And as always, thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading and hanging out with me today. Sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye.